Hey folks, Scott here, Ercolina CML USA. We're standing here next to a brand new Pedrazzoli cold saw, model 350 MRM. M for the manual rapid movement vise. Very nice piece, very well built. It's been a product that was designed years ago and the quality's been maintained. Nice piece. It's a cold saw because we're going to go ahead and be able to cut a lot of tubes and profiles. Typically much faster than you would with a bandsaw. I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit closer on some tight up shots here and show you some of the key features of the saw, talk about them a little bit, and if you have any questions, you're always welcome to call our service and customer support line and we'll go through it with you. The pricing's good, the quality's great, and the delivery is also good, so we look forward to talking to you about our saws. Right here, what we're looking at on the saw is the handle, of course, easy to move. You can see what's happening here. We're going to go ahead and get it close for the clamping. You can see this saw actually has a function here, a secondary part, so we can grab the piece that's going to be cut off, and that's adjustable or removable as well. And then we go ahead and run the handle up here a little bit. We'll get it just taut a little bit, and then we got the rapid clamp, and we'll lock it down. That way we can the vise very quickly. We can open and close with this. We don't have to touch the handle if we haven't changed the material diameter. So now we're pretty well secure, and you can see the exit end of the part's going to be secure as well. And I'm just going ahead and show you the saw has a nice guard around it. You can see it's fully enclosed. That guard stays with the blade. It opens up as the saw comes down, so it's a very safe operation, and the guard stays on it even when you go ahead and release the center to change the blade. It's very easy to keep the guard in place, and it also locks for the benefit of safety. And you can get an external support stand on the saw. It's a nice piece. You want to have that. Keeps your chips and your water going in the right direction. You can see here nice solid pump. This is going to be for your coolant reservoir. You've got some filtration system, and it goes back into a drip tray in the bottom down there. And just to give you the idea of the back side, that's kind of the side view of the system. Again, you can see that there's quality in this piece. And I also want to point out, as you look at these saws, you can see the size of this casting. Much more robust than a lot of the competitive models out there. And that's important. It's going to help you. It's going to help the durability of the saw, but it gives you a good idea of the design and the build quality of this. So with this clamped up, what you would do is you would take this handle, and you can see the trigger on it. Trigger is going to go ahead and start that blade. So you got your one hand on there. What happens is you have to turn the saw on first, and then you'll see a light up, and there is a keyed e-stop. You can release that as well. And from there I can select the direction of the cut, and that's going to be important depending on the materials you're cutting, because we've got a design that allows you to cut a little more effectively your thin wall and your hollows to your solids. And some more of your structurals, you can turn the blade around 180, and you can change directions real quickly with this feature. So that's really your directional feature. So we're going to go ahead with the saw powered on now. You can see the light. We'll come up here, and we'll just touch that trigger switch, and you can see what's happening when we do that. I'll open that up just so you can get an idea. And if I let go of the trigger, the saw stops. It's as easy as that. If you want to go ahead and adjust this speed, great system. Gives you a nice option for running the blade RPM higher and lower. You can see you've got a range of 15 to 90. And it's a matter of turning this for high and low, so it's very easy to adjust the RPM. If you're cutting a little thinner wall, a little softer material, you want a little higher RPM, here's your adjustment. You can go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to just back out so you can see the back of the base here, and kind of the design of the machine. You can see overall it's built very solid. It's got a good work height. Also comes with a stop, and the stop's graduated so you can, at least for reference, use that. And then it's got this piece here that you can go ahead and slide back and forth so you can get up to your part, and you can cut the same part over and over. What you're going to see with this, we're cutting 2-inch 065 tube steel, and you can see the finish of that. This does not going to require any significant cleanup afterwards. That's the beauty of a cold saw. You're really milling as you're sawing, and you're getting a square cut too. So if somebody looks at this, you can see that it's not uneven in any way. It's nice and square, so there's no secondary work in most cases with a cold saw. And cold saws, again, they are intended for a variety of materials and shapes, and we can always help guide you through what should be cut and the blades that you should use when you have a saw like this. Very important to know what you're getting into. Generally, there's some blades that we can get you going with that are pretty good shop all-purpose blades. Very easy to change. And then the last thing we want to talk about is we can release the entire head by this lever here, and it locks this movement down, and that allows us to get the angle. Now on this saw we can go 0 to 45 degrees very easily, very quickly, by just pulling the head over and locking down on that handle. So cold saw is very easy, very functional, and very nice to use in our opinion. Really any size fab shop should have one, regardless if you have a bandsaw or not. Very handy, convenient tool to use, and it's almost a must in the shop, guys. Any questions, check us out at Pedrazzoli-USA.com. Thanks for listening.